France today, a young girl is back at home with her father and has had an emotional reunion after a rescue many are still calling a miracle. Her name is Bahia Bakari, and she arrived on this plane in Paris this morning. She was found floating in the Indian Ocean, holding on to floating debris after her flight came crashing down off the Comoros Islands earlier this week. She doesn't even swim. David Common has been following the story since it happened, and he has the very latest from Paris.
Both here in France and on the Comoros Islands, they're calling this young teenage girl the miracle child. She's 12 or 13. We're not quite clear on her age, but we do know that she's now back in Paris. She's been brought back here, reunited with her father. Her mother was on the plane and is now presumed dead. So her father, who was at the airport this morning, is really left with both grief for his wife and joy that his daughter survived. It's a roller coaster ride of emotions that I can't even begin to comprehend. But certainly there's a lot of joy that she is now back in France. It was just 3 days ago, in fact, that she left her home here in Paris. She is, like her parents, a French citizen. And so the French government has really been trying to look after her. But her story coming out in dribs and drabs is really incredible. As you say, she was found in the water some 12 or 13 hours after the crash, and she has told doctors some details and her father some details. Says she remembers being thrown from the airplane, that she was able to see the airplane sinking into the Indian Ocean about 15 kilometers offshore from its destination, the Comoros Islands. And though it was pitch black, because of course this was all at night, she could actually hear voices. And that suggests that other people may have survived the crash itself, only to die later, either from wounds that they've sustained or drowning or something else. That's something that investigators will obviously look into. But right now, Bahia Bakari looks to be the only survivor of this crash. Most likely 151 other people have been killed.
David, French investigators are becoming more and more involved in the investigation into the aftermath. Where does their effort stand today?
Well, they've launched an investigation into involuntary manslaughter, and they're not naming a subject. They're not saying that it's this person or this company, but all eyes are really on the airline, Yemeni Airlines, because the plane which crashed 2 years ago was banned from flying in Europe. The French are involved here in large part because there were a great number of French citizens on board the plane, but also because a large number of the passengers had really begun their journey with Yemeni Airlines in France, either in Paris, where Bahia Bakari, for instance, got on with her mother, or in the southern city of Marseille before it went on to Sana'a, the capital of Yemen.
David Common in Paris.